deer management. I'm out here first thing in the morning, and I'm by my palm tree over here. My queen palm puts out seeds like this, and the seeds fall on the ground. The deer like coming around, and there's footprints all around the seeds, so I'm assuming that they're eating the seeds. So let me show you what that looks like. You can see all the deer tracks, and you can see where they're chomping on the outside of the seeds. You can see they go all around all of these. Okay, so the reason why I bring that to your attention, I just want to show you that there's deer around. They're eating the seeds of the palms. That's fine with me. But there's other areas that I want to show you, and I'm going to show you how I control them. Okay, so anytime I plant a fruit tree, I have to put a fence around it with some posts. If I don't put the post, well, first off, if I don't put a fence, the deer come in and they chew off all the leaves. Well, I put a fence around without the posts, and they push the fence over and they get in and they still chew the leaves off. So these posts right here help out. Now over here in my other area, which is Mexican sunflower and country Bakken 14, I had to do the same thing, because they would come through, they would hop right over this. Well, before the fence, they just come through and they eat the leaves off. I put this fence up, and they go ahead and they jump right over it. So over it, you'll notice I put this string here for now, but around my garden I have a cable, and then that eliminates the problem like that 100%. So let's go over here. Okay, over here, once again, I have Mexican sunflower, and I have fence around it. They could come in here and get these bottom leaves, but generally they get most of it. It keeps them from stripping the leaves down. Okay, so I'm over here by my Hugel culture area, and you can see everything's fenced off, and I'm over here by my garden area, and you see it's fenced off. But you also notice on the top, here's a good example. I have a cable going over the top. I put grapevines on it. Well, the reason for the cable, let me move over here, make sure I don't trip. Before I put this cable up, the deer will come over and boop, they hop right over. Once I put this cable up, that solved the problem. Same thing over here. I put the cable up, going all around the garden. Solved it 100%. For years, no more deer is going in there. Now the same thing over here. I just planted this not too long ago. I did a video. I put this on, and I put these stakes in the ground, because the deer were pushing them over. They were coming over, pushing the fence over, and you can see the leaves they chewed up, but there's all new, see the leaves they chewed right here? But there's new growth coming out now to replace those leaves that the deer went ahead and got. Okay, so once again, I planted this fruit tree, I put a fence around, and I put some stakes around. Before I put the stakes in, the deer were pushing the fence, and you can see where they chewed everything off. And as it sits now, they can't chew it off no more, and they might reach their head in there and push a little bit, but for the most part, the tree is going to grow tall. No bucks are going to go in there and take the bark off, so it's going to survive. So let's go over here. Okay, so over here, all the way around, here's a pasture fence. Now the deer walk right up to the fence on either direction, and whoop, they just kind of almost walk over it, but they just give a little leap, boom, they're on this side. So what's a good thing to do, and what I did, instead of fighting them, I did a video the other day right over here. You can see that I went ahead and tilled under, and I planted plot field seed, and this is going to give the deer feed, and this is going to give the deer food So when that grows in, they'll be able to eat this, and they won't try to eat anything else because they'll be content just coming in here and eating off of the plot fields. Okay, so over here by the pond, the other day I did a video on me doing the plot field on this side and that side over there, and I sprinkled seed on. Now we have not had any rain, but it is damp over here, and you'll notice that I have growth coming in, different types of plants along with the grass. So eventually that's going to be a plot field, and that's going to be some good food for the deer, and I don't mind the deer coming in and eating, and that's going to keep them, hopefully it's going to keep them off my other plants. Now as far as the banana plants go, the deer have not bothered any banana plants, so I would say they're deer resistant or maybe deer proof. I don't know. Knock on wood, they don't bother them. But over here, same thing. I did a row of plot field here, and I did a row of plot field there. So if you can't beat them, feed them, and if they're fed, let them graze, let them have some water, and then they'll just go ahead and keep off of your other shrubbery that you don't want them on. Yes, you still have to protect your other shrubbery, but they won't be there constantly trying to put their heads in and chewing it all up. So it does help. So with that said, that's how I deer-proof my Hugel culture garden, my regular garden, and all of my fertilizing plants like Comfrey Balkan 14 and Mexican sunflower, and it works 100%. So if you have a garden, now you know. A fence does not do it, but if you put a cable over the fence, 100% deer resistant. Back at you.